Art, first of all, I think this really kind of laid it out. Hey, what do lower interest rates actually mean? And it talked about, hey, homeowners, people that want to refinance. Obviously, you talk about for the buyers. I mean, you've talked about that now for the last several weeks about affordability, and that was being a thing in the market or the media about, hey, it's too expensive. But in the last several weeks, you've laid out data, solid data that says, no, right now it's actually more affordable than it has been in quite at home. With stacking those things, would you mind before I wrap up, share those items that are stacking up in favor of a home buyer to say it is more affordable now to buy your home for these reasons?
Well, a couple things. Home price increases have slowed. They haven't gone negative. They've slowed. We are now seeing in a lot of markets, certainly here in the Coachella Valley and Palm Springs, and I would say most of the cities here, we're seeing a little bit more of a widening of the gap between original list price and closing price. I would say on average, it's probably in the 3 to 4% range. In other words, a home sells for 96 or 97% of its list price. So there's some.
And what does that mean? What does that mean to somebody who's buying a home that you say there's some gap in there?
Well, for example, good idea. Just use a round number. Let's say the home's listed for 500, but in a particular market, we might see that the average closing price as to original list price is about 96%. That's 4%. So that implies that the home sells for on average 4% below its original list. So that means if you're looking at a house listed at 500, then the data suggests that good chance it's going to sell not at 500, but at 96% of 500. So what you're talking about there, of course, 4% of 500 is what? $20,000. Yeah. So that suggests to you, if you've already looked at the data first before you start shopping, and you know those numbers for a particular city, for example, then you've got some data that you're armed with, so that if you decide you find a house and you want to negotiate concessions to grab that 4%, well, again, the knee-jerk, simple, I don't want to come across as critical, I was going to say simple-minded way of attacking that opportunity is like, oh, let's offer 480. And I'm on a mission of saying, okay, fine, you can do that. I can show you how much you save at 480 price versus 500 if you're financing your purchase. It's going to help a little bit, but let me show you how that 20 grand is taken from a full price offer of 500. And then let me show you what I can do to that 20 grand with that 20 grand towards your loan costs. I'm going to be able to show you some numbers that will get your attention, because they're going to be substantially better for you than just taking that concession opportunity in a lower price. So when you have that condition, the other thing I was going to add, we have more inventory. It's getting back closer and closer to that 6 month, 6 months of inventory, which is based on the average sale rate. We're not there, but there's definitely more inventory, and we're seeing more reductions in price from original list to closing price, which is why that gap is getting to be 3% or 4%. And so those are opportunities that we have right now. It's more of a buyer's market. You have leverage. You can negotiate these things. You just got to get out there, do your homework, or get you and your agent do that. So know what those parameters are, and then we can help you structure an offer. If you have something in mind, call me, and in short order, I can throw some numbers at you to show you what would be a good way to approach that. So.